Nice short review video for this next part here. This actually doesn't need to be done by you on the exam should this type of problem arise. But if it does come up in a multiple choice section and you're not quite sure why the answers are formatted in the way they are, I did want to review this real quickly. Why is it that e to the x plus c is the same thing as c e to the x? Okay, so if we go back to our exponent rules, we know that if we have two bases which each have an exponent and we multiply those terms, that means we're going to add the exponents. All right, what am I saying? Again, what I'm saying is let's say I have x to the fifth times x to the fourth. All right, what would that be equal to from your algebra class? It'd be x to the ninth. Exactly. All right. I'm not going to write 9 though. Instead, I'm going to write 5 plus 4, which obviously is 9. Okay. Notice what happens. We combine there's only one base, and we combine the exponents by just adding them. Right. So if I started you off with this and said, what is x to the 5 plus 4 power? One way you could say is it's x to the ninth, but another way that you could say x to the 5 plus 4 is that it's x to the fifth times x to the fourth. If we do that right here, that means that e to the x plus c is really e to the x times e to some number, okay? Which we don't know what that is, okay? Because we're not given what c actually is. But e to the c is just an arbitrary constant. It's an unknown number. So we don't have to write e to the c because we can just write c. And when we see e to the x, if it has a coefficient, we tend to put the coefficient first. So we have c e to the x. Okay. So again, why am I bringing this up? Because what you're going to see quite often on the exam, not guaranteed, but quite often, is something like this. E to the, let's just say 7x plus the natural log of 5. Okay, kind of a weird number, and you'll see how this happens in the next example. But what we can do with this is we can turn this into e to the 7x times e to the natural log of 5. All right, and then e to the natural log, remember those are inverse operations, they wipe each other out. So this is really just e to the 7x times 5 down on the base level, and that 5 can actually go in front of the exponential, so we have 5e to the 7x. So this is equal to that. Now you actually don't have to show this if this type of question happens to come up on the free response section of the exam. But I've also seen it come up in the multiple choice section of the exam, and it's one of those situations where this is not one of the 4 options, but this one is. So I just want to make sure everybody knew how to get from here to there.